All right, let's talk about generating leads inside of your website. It's really simple. You can utilize 3 of those widgets, which are the forms, the appointments, and the quizzes and surveys. They allow you to collect leads. You can also collect leads via the checkout, but that's more of a sale process. So to any page, you can add those 3. Here in this website in particular, we have a contact page, probably your template as well, which has a form. Which you can start customizing right away. So you can double click and you can add new fields, delete ones, and customize whatever you want. So you can add new fields, and there you can see the CRM properties, which are properties part of every contact that you can see. So let's say somebody fills in a phone, that will be associated with that user. So if you want to add something that is not here, you can add it as a common field, but that will not be a property. So let's say you want to add age for this example. How you can do that? You can go into the CRM custom properties. You can see all the ones that are systemically created by the website. And you can add a new one. Let's say you want to call it age and you want it to be a number. And you can have it available in the form so you can actually ask it as a question there. And that's it. Just like that, you created a new property. Well, actually, let's change the name. All right, so now inside of the builder, when you go to the form, you can now start asking this question as a property. So now everybody who fills in this form with this age, it will be associated with that user. So let's see in action. We can go preview and we can add Joe. Add a phone number if you want to, a message. And we have here the age. So now we can add the age and that will be associated with the customer's profile. So you can submit. That form is now submitted with this thank you message. And this created a new profile for Joe with their phone number, with their tags, if you have any tags, and information. So when you click into Joe's profile, you can see information. And Joe now has this info here. And at the bottom, they'll have the age property, which is 35, new property which is created. You have all sorts of different properties, like I said, that you can customize and create new ones. So this is how simple it is to start generating leads. From there on out, you can see information like activities. So in this case, Joe submitted only the form and you can see what exactly they submitted. You can see if you send them any emails, messages, appointments, forms, whatever it is, you can see that information here. So let's copy Joe because we'll be using it for other purposes. You can also start emailing Joe if you have connected a domain, and you can start SMSing and WhatsApp and voice marketing them and messaging them if you have Twilio connected. But talk to you that in a different article and video. So just like that, we were able to collect a lead. You can have the other 2 options as well to collect lead via the booking and appointments. So let's look into that. From the booking and appointment, when you place it, you have the first thing that you need to select is an event. If you haven't yet created an event, you have to do that inside of the booking events. So in the appointment scheduling is where you can create one. So you can create a brand new event. You can set up the availability. If you want to have more than one operator and services people can choose from, you can set it up from here. But we have a dedicated video specifically on appointments. But that is the other way to collect leads. We already have one demo account event created, so let's use that one for the testing purposes. So let's say drag and drop the appointments and select the test event here. So now the information, the calendar will show and you can start accepting appointments. And yes, we can now save and again preview and see the information. We can select a date, you can select a time, and now again we'll be asked these questions, which is the name, the email, let's say Joe again, the phone number if it is required, and book an appointment. And just like that, they scheduled for that specific time and day. So again, this generated a lead, and that lead again, because it's the same Joe, that will be associated with their profile again. They scheduled a test event. So yeah, you can see their appointment here in appointments area and see more information about the event. So this is how simple it is to generate an appointment, a different lead generation. And then lastly, we have the quizzes and surveys, which let's just delete this one. You can just drag and drop the quizzes and surveys again to any page anywhere, and you can start accepting again leads. This is basically like a form, but in a multi-step format, and it looks different, more pretty, and you can split the questions into different steps. It's just better consumable by the user. So you can have different steps, you can name them. Inside of each step, you can add different questions. Like in this case, you have name and email. Then you have the step names. You can have multiple choice. You can give them scoring. But we do have videos, again, quizzes as well. So you can check out that in more details. But they're very simple. And again, you basically customize what kind of fields you want, again, inside each step. The only thing is that here you have a bit more common fields mostly used for quiz and surveys, with this pretty design where you can have multi-select and single select type of boxes to choose from, as well as scoring, and you can have and create different logic, as well different thank you pages and thank you messages based on the answers of the users, based on the scores. So this is really cool to segment people and maybe show them different pages afterwards, or score them or tag them based on the answers that they gave. So this is really cool to segment. Where the form is more simple, you just fill a form and that's it, you generate delete. Another cool thing about quizzes, forms, and appointments is you can also connect them directly to email marketing. So this is really important to be able to start communicating with them. So by somebody submitting this form, you can select to what kind of a list you want to add them in your email marketing. So this is really important. So here, let's say, call it lead one. Let's say this is our list, let's say, or quiz leads, however we want to call it. And now everybody who submits this quiz will go to that list of email marketing. Not email marketing only, but yes. And you can also tag people based on them submitting this quiz. So let's do that, and let's go them quiz fillers, for example. And we add this tag to anybody who submits this quiz. Let's save and again preview the quiz. Now we have the quiz. We can select the answer. We can add Joe, but let's have this Joe too to create a brand new contact and submit. Now we submitted this quiz that generated again a lead, and that is Joe too, who submitted the quiz. You can see information about the answers that Joe gave. And also you can see some things here. A tag was added to the user and email marketing list was added. And the contact was subscribed to the email marketing and automations. So now this user will be part of the MyStrinking workflows. And from there, you can see them in the lists and subscribers. So now you can actually email Joe too. Joe 1 cannot be emailed right now because they're not yet a subscriber. So if you want to send emails and messages and whatever to a user, they have to be a subscriber into a list. So you can easily do that when you go to a customer's profile manually if they are not yet subscribed, and subscribe them like this by clicking on that and subscribing them to a specific list, let's say to default list. And that we made Joe as a subscriber as well. And now we have two people to which we can start sending emails and automation flows, etc. But one is in one list and the other one is a different one. And you can now start from here creating your campaign to blast an email to your subscribers in the list. It's very simple and it's very easy. Yes, again, you go there and you can create your first campaign. And it can be an email, SMS, WhatsApp, or voice. Again, you have to have Twilio connected to start using those from applications. But yes, you can find an article below this video. So from here, you can now create your email. You can add a name to it. Let's say campaign 1. And create your first email to blast to your users. So you can go and create your emails however you like. You have to add a company name as well and company address in order to start sending. So you have to add your correct ones for your business. Just for the sake, we'll just add the new ones. And yeah, by creating those emails, you can now go to recipients and select to which list you want to start sending emails. And it's that simple. And then go to the next step, which is other things that you can select by adding a subject, who is this email from, reply to, etc. And you can save it as a draft. So in order for you to start sending emails and campaigns and automation flows to your users, you have to connect your domain by verifying it here in the domain verification area. So just type in your domain and you'll be given instructions on how to connect your domain to your email marketing and automation so you can start blasting emails to them. But that is how simple it is. Now, if you want to automate stuff and connect with them right away after they submit a form or quiz or appointment, let's say, thank you for submitting your form. We will be follow up with you very soon. Or you want to put them into a specific flow, you can easily do it with the automations. You can also, again, check out our whole in-depth videos about that. But yes, blank automation. Let's down with this one and let's say quiz automation. Let's go it like this. So anybody who fills in the quiz, they will start a sequence of emails and, questions you ask them and things to perform with that contact when they enter this list. So the first thing is to add a trigger, and the trigger would be when somebody is added to a list, which is lead one. So, and anybody enters lead one, they'll be also triggering this automation. And from here on out, you can start blasting emails, blasting SMSs, notifications, voice marketing, or you can perform different things with those contacts. So, for example, you can delay, let's say, with a specific amount of time, let's say with 10 minutes after they submit the quiz, you can send them an email with a specific information. So you can, again, build your email and send it to them. And then have another action afterwards and another action. And you can have and separate different actions on specific time of the day and different delays, different actions. You can have different if else logic, and you can perform different actions with that contact to happen. So everything is fully automated. You don't have to do anything other than whatever the process of your onboarding and converting a lead to an actual client of yours is. So yeah, this is how simple it is to actually do everything. Just for more in-depth things, yeah, you can check out the videos about automations and campaigns. But that is the 3 different ways basically to generate leads by using forms for basic information, booking and appointments for actually having appointments, and quizzes and surveys for actually having whole quizzes and surveys with different logic that can generate leads on your websites and your pages. And afterwards, all those contacts were added to the CRM, and from there added to the email marketing automation so that you can actually start emailing them or SMSing or voice messaging or whatever it is. So this is how you can do all that with a platform with just a few minutes to set up your whole lead generation system.